right. Hey. All right. So, Scorpios, let's go ahead and jump on into this one, Scorpio. And we're just going to kind of let this freestyle, see what comes out from my Scorps. We have got Hanged Man, and we got the Queen of Wands. So, starting out, Piscean energy, we've got the Leo Sag Aries. There's a delay. It's almost like someone is trying to figure out what they think, or and that's not usual because a Queen of Wands usually knows what they want. So something is delaying a Queen of Wands from being able to make a decision. This could be somebody who's trying to decide how to talk to Scorpio, how they feel about Scorpio, what they want to decide in regards to the Scorpio. Let's just see. What's their hang up here? What is it that they're contemplating, looking at from a different perspective, delaying? Page of Wands, Eight of Swords. This is an interesting one because to me, this looks like we have someone who is attracted to the Scorpio, but like afraid to show it is what I feel like. Doesn't matter if they're masculines, feminines, or any arrangement thereof. I don't read for genders, but I'll just say that whomever this is in a divine feminine energy, and they are delaying, like admitting to themselves that they're attracted to Scorpio. So why? Why are they delaying that? What's the Four of Pentacles? It's like they don't know about Scorpio. Does Scorpio show them two different sides of themselves and they can't read Scorpio very well? Are they wondering, maybe this person has a child and they're wondering, would Scorpio want, to get to know me? If, would they want me in their world if I had a child, or Scorpio as a child, what would that be like? It feels more like they don't know who the Scorpio really is. Scorpio right now is coming across as a divine masculine. That could just mean that it is someone in their masculine energy, which is the energy of the sun, the action taking. And this definitely, you notice the sun is blazing in the sky right now. But I feel like they are confused about who Scorpio really is. So has Scorpio shown them different sides of themselves? Knight of Swords. Yeah, Scorpio has acted like it's go time and then is pulled back a little bit. They're giving mixed signals somehow. Okay, hold on. Let's talk to the Scorpio in this. Scorpio, do the Scorpio believe that they're given mixed signals? Judgment. If this is about a relationship that already was and might be coming back into like being rebirthed, then there could be like mixed hot and cold reactions, because there could be a lot of things that Scorpio's trying to forgive this person for still. If this is like a person from the past, that it's like, okay, I'm going to do this, but I'm still kind of guarded because some things still kind of sting. And so the Scorpio could be kind of hot and cold a little bit. But with the Judgment card, it's also trying to make a decision. Hold on, let's get another one. Why is a Scorpio possibly coming across as hot and cold? The Lovers and the Chariot. This is starting to look like we have two characters, both of whom are like, hi, Monica, I'm so glad you are here, sweetheart. Always good to see you. I wonder if the Scorpio is kind of like, what I'm wanting to see from them is some kind of real confidence so that we're moving this forward. It feels like two people are waiting for the other one to give like genuine confidence. Now, I will say on this side, Scorpio is the one who's getting the major arcanas, 3 in a row. So I would actually say they're not really hot and cold, but it's very definitive in their mind. It's like, this is a card of choice. This is a card of making a judgment call. And this is the card of moving forward with stability. It kind of seems like Scorpio's like, no, I'm not confused and I'm not hot and cold. I'm reserved until I see that this is a good idea, that someone is really showing me the real attention to make me say, okay, I trust that we're moving forward. I think Scorpio's dealing with someone who is not super confident, which is funny because they're coming across confident, yet delaying, being stuck, putting out minimal effort to show interest. It almost, I'm sorry to say it this way, this person feels like they want their ego stoked, which I know it's the Queen of Wands in the upright shouldn't really be someone who is just hungry for someone else to stoke their ego. I would expect that if they were in the reverse, but not when they're upright. So let me go back over here. This could just be like confusion and awkwardness. But at this point in time, they're the ones who seem to be more of the holding back, whereas Scorpio is saying, I'm not holding back. I am reserved until I see that this is really going to move forward. It's a subtle but important difference. Like, innocent until proven guilty instead of assume somebody's guilty and then they got to prove their innocence. Monique, thank you, sweethearts. Thank you so much. You are so generous. Thank you, Monique McKay. That is absolutely such a generous gift. Thank you, sweetheart. Once again, I should say. Thank you once again. You've done this a multitude of times, and I am so touched. Thank you, honey. The fact that our Queen of Wands character, and again, remember this could be masculine or feminine, but they seem to be the ones stuck, giving minimal effort, waiting, watching. It's so crazy because they want to take a leap of faith toward this, but later. Why are they kind of look like the game player to me in this. Why are they doing this? What's the deal with I'm going to take a leap of faith later? That it feels very conditional. Ace of Pentacles sideways, because I'm still not 100% sure that I'm going to get to have this new beginning with Scorpio. So wait a minute. Is it that they don't like feeling like Scorpio needs to see something significant coming from them? And they're like, I don't know if Scorpio is really going to give me a real second chance. So I'm kind of going to wait until I go all in. It's like they're so scared to put all their chips in. And I wonder if it's because they don't want to look foolish. The only thing is that Scorpio's not going to be giving them more of what they want until basically this person meets Scorpio exactly like toe to toe on each side of the line. See, Ten of Swords in the reverse. For whatever reason, they still feel bent out of shape over things. This person could be wanting to be nurtured, wanting to be protected, whether they're masculine or feminine. They've actually shown up as both. They want to give minimal effort, but I feel like they desperately want this with Scorpio. Desperately. They want to throw themselves into this, but they're saying, but I'm going to wait because, it hurt my feelings. It hurt my ego that we were ever separated, that Scorpio ever walked away from me. So now I really, even though I want to throw myself into Scorpio's arms, I'm going to, I don't feel safe doing that because I'm still stinging from this ending that we had previously. And I need to be reassured that Scorpio is not going to do that again. But hold on, because what's the other side? Scorpio, let's go talk to Scorpio one more time. What happened here from Scorpio's perception? We can agree that there was some kind of an ending because Scorpio is saying, I would be willing, if we're really choosing each other, I would be willing to do this. But we have to move forward with confidence. We have Two of Pentacles. Scorpio says it was always up in the air. There was no, it was always like juggling. Maybe Scorpio thought they were being juggled by whoever this queen was. Empress, Action of Swords, High Priestess, Inspiration of Wands, and the Awakening, which is a Judgment card again. It feels like Scorpio is saying it was always up in the air about whether or not, like, I thought this was something really serious and go the distance, but maybe we rushed it in the beginning. And there was a lot of things that we didn't know. There was a lot of things that we needed to step a few paces back and then readdress. And it could have been something at the foundational level. So this is that Page of Wands again, Page of Wands, which is exactly who they still are over here. See, I almost wonder if this character that Scorpio has dealt with, if they consistently breadcrumb their affection a little bit, or they're immature about how they show affection. And it almost seems like Scorpio's like, wow, I thought this was a really mature person. I thought we were really going to get something off the ground, but really maybe I jumped the gun thinking somebody was more mature than they actually were, because when it comes to the way they express love, give love, maybe I was expecting more than I should have from them. Maybe I didn't get to know them, and maybe this is their way. It feels like different love languages or a different level of comfort zone with what a romance is made of, like what a spark looks like and how you flame a spark, how you like encourage a spark to grow. It feels like Scorpio is the one saying, I'm, able to say that we weren't very balanced, we weren't very equal, and I'll take responsibility. Maybe I expected them to be different in a romance than they actually were. Maybe I expected more of them, the way they show affection. Like, okay, an example of this would be, let's say Scorpio and this person meet, and it's like, oh my gosh, we're so in love. So I just know that they're on the same page as me. So now I know that we're going to obviously, spend as much time as possible together. We're going to be, you know, converging our hobbies, choosing to spend time together means we got to meet each other halfway. Only to discover this person is kind of like, oh, yeah, no, I'm not going to change any of my hobbies to spend more time together. We'll just have to squeeze in the relationship around the other hobbies. And that could just be something where the way they think that, the reason I'm saying it this way is because this is a much smaller amount of energy being put out. There is a flame, there is an interest, but how much time are they taking to devote to building this relationship with Scorpio could have been significantly less than what Scorpio was thinking it was going to be, because they're thinking this is full on Empress mode, right? We nurture, we grow, we create an empire together. This person is like, let's not do an empire, let's just share a sandwich. Like that's a very drastically different amount of energy to show love and to put energy in. So it feels like Scorpio was like, hey, maybe that was my bad. I don't want to change anybody. I'm willing to still work with them, but now I learned something really important, which is we were not on the same page, and that was a big conflict. I'm going to have to accept them where they are if I'm going to be with them, but I still need to know, do they really want to move forward? And I think that's where it's okay that they show a different love language. It's okay to Scorpio, even if it's like, wow, this person is not, they don't want to do the same level of connectivity that I do. I can accept all that as long as I'm still the person that they're wholeheartedly choosing and they're showing me that. If this is the maximum affection that they have to show and offer, I'll take them as they are, as long as they're not just selfish and shortchanging me and breadcrumbing me because they're getting away with something. I feel like that's what Scorpio is still trying to determine. Meanwhile, this person over here seems to still, they kind of are doing some breadcrumby game playing because they don't like the fact that Scorpio let something end because of the conflict before. So now they really want Scorpio, but they're kind of game playing, holding back, is what this looks like. And unfortunately, they have it does look like a bit of game playing to me, because this is a ton of love that could be offered, but this is all they show. It's almost like this person feels like they're so high value that no one has a right to have any of their, like that much affection from them, because, you've got to really work for it. And on one hand, there's self-respect, but then there's an over-bloated idea of just how fabulous you are. Like, be nice. I'm sorry, but I'm not a real keen on this character's behavior right now. And I'm gonna say it. This feels like a bloated sense of self on their side. Like they're making obstacles instead of treating somebody well, that and treating somebody with the equal worth. They want to be treated better than what they're willing to treat the Scorpio. That's what I see, and that's why I don't like it. Sorry, I get very opinionated and sassy. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I'm not sorry, because you know what? At the end of the day, it is just fictional storytelling, but I try very hard to, when we see certain cards like that, to paint the picture as it is and then be like, well, I don't get why I can see why Scorpio's not full on board, because it would be very hard to be on board with someone who is still, they want to be treated better than they're willing to treat Scorpio. I don't know where they got that idea that they hold all the cards and that's how you behave with people. But any character can behave however they want. It's just that that's going to yield certain results. So we do have the King of Wands here. I feel like Scorpio is the real deal and would actually really care about this person if they're willing to make so many concessions and accept that, well, I thought this person was, gonna love me the same way I would love them. But if that's just not their way, I can accept that. I can, if they really do love me and they just have a different way of showing it, and it's not going to be really that fulfilling for what I was hoping to have from a partner, but I respect the fact that we're different and there's so many great qualities. Sure, I would still work on this with them. I would still be with them if I'm the one they really want. So let me try to reassure them and tell them I'm the one that really wants you. So it still looks like Scorpio is willing to like give so much to this with that King of Wands, which is huge in my opinion. Huge, huge, huge. This is like, oh my god, the Scorpio's a better person than me. I'm all over here getting all sassy. Let's go ahead and see. How do they react? We have got the Devil that is sideways. We got the Four of Wands upright. This makes him feel really good, and it makes him feel like, oh, yes, okay, Scorpio is the one for me. The only thing I still really don't like is they do have a toxic side, and they don't really shake it. This is somebody who I think in this storyline, Scorpio is the one giving and giving and giving. And they are the ones like, oh my God, I love this. Now it's starting to feel so good. I feel so safe. Scorpio really wants me. They're treating me so amazing. Yes, Scorpio is the one I want. And they accept me with some of my big, huge, massive flaws. So I don't really need to work on those. That's the part. They're not full on devil toxic because it's sideways. It's not in the reverse. But I would like to see this character do some work on themselves. I think let me just see. Are they going to do any work on themselves? Is the fact that Scorpio is accepting them warts and all, will they actually knock it off and start to treat Scorpio with the real respect that they deserve? This says Wheel of Fortune. This says in time. Yes, they will. I don't like the fact that it's in time, but you know what? This Scorpio is a freaking saint in this. Knight of Pentacles. It's like this is a character who, at the beginning I said, wow, they're so bloated about who they think they are and how they get to hold back more so that, someone else has to make them feel safe and blah, blah, blah. That might be like a trigger reaction for this character. And it feels like Scorpio being this much like giving this much selfless, unconditional love to them, accepting them as they are. It does look like that heals them. It does look like it makes them into a better person, but it's a slow freaking process. I feel like this person is kind of a jackass for a while or like a low key jackass. They do love this Scorpio and they'll probably be really nice in some ways, but then also kind of toxic and still kind of demanding. And they still want to be fawned over and made to feel safe, but they aren't really that reciprocal. But I think the Scorpio is so much more mature than this person that they're just like, yeah, I know. We all have our scars, and this person tends to like wear their scars a little bit more prominently, but I actually do know that they love me and they're still growing. It feels like this is a very unconventional love story because I feel like instead of saying, wow, go get your act together and then come back whole and complete, the Scorpio goes, we are who we are and we're still learning. And if I love them and they love me, even if it's not perfect, I'll accept this so long as there are some boundaries. And I feel like this person changes because of the way Scorpio loves them. I don't know. I can't really get on board with this one because I don't know. I would rather see a character change before Scorpio has to keep pouring into it and just accepting everything. But that's in a perfect world. In reality, probably this is a more realistic story because lots of times we have characters that match and we all have our own flaws and then we love somebody despite them and we deal with it. And oftentimes in the best scenarios, I guess love would help one another heal and grow into the best version of ourselves. Love is patient, love is kind, and hopefully it brings out the best in us. And that is a beautiful story, I suppose. But yes, I was a little bit protective of my Scorpio. You guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Good to see everybody. All right, I'm going to jump on over and do the singles read next. I also have a Leo video that I'll release in just a couple of moments, and we still got to do a Fucus tonight also. You guys, thanks again. Monique, thank you so much once more. Homesick for Hills, hi. Hi, happy feet. Good to see you guys. Monica, thank you for tolerating me. Norma C, all right. Hi, Martina. Good to see you, honey. Oh my gosh, 4:47 a.m. I'm so honored you're up so early for this. Have a great day. Bye, hon. Bye, Monica.